my friend. This is Billy Wiggly coming at you live from the 9th Island, Las Vegas, Nevada. How you doing today? Are you staying positive? Are you letting all those negative fly right by you? Are you staying away from all those negative people that are getting mad at you because you're too positive and they're just being realistic? You know who I'm talking about. Yeah, get away from those negative people. Because here at Don't Get Mad, Get Skills, we're focused on maintaining a constantly positive mental attitude, PMA, that'll make it easy for us to achieve our definite major purpose. And today's definite major purpose, did you know in step 1 of the 7 steps of Excel success, step 1 is design. First, we got to decide what it is we're going to build, what kind of spreadsheet, what questions are we trying to answer, and we design the spreadsheet. But did you know that, let's say that you already thought about, well, I need to put together an event, and I need to plan for this party, and I need to keep track of everything. You think maybe Excel already has a spreadsheet built that you can use that'll help you plan your party? How about a budget? You think Excel already has preset budget, inventory trackers, fitness trackers? Yes, Excel does. Excel has all kinds of templates, pre-built worksheets that you can work with. And what about Power Query? Have you heard about Power Query yet? Yeah, does it seem like a mysterious tool? You know, I used to get questions all the time about, hey Billy, I've got 3 different spreadsheets. They're pretty much the same data, but they're set up different. They're coming from different places. Is there any way that I can put them together, combine them into one spreadsheet? There used to be all kinds of ways of doing it. And I've got videos on my YouTube channel and then my shortcuts, tips, and tricks course that tell you how you can combine multiple spreadsheets. But now we got Power Query, and Power Query makes it really easy for you to take the data, clean up your data, organize your data, and display it any way that you want without messing with the original spreadsheets. And anytime you update the original spreadsheets, your Power Query table will update. Pull all that data from all those dirty spreadsheets and put it into your nice clean spreadsheet. That's Power Query. And it's easy to use. And no, you don't got to take a, full-blown detailed Power Query course. You just need to know the 7 steps to Excel success. In my live streams, I'm always proving to you that we just need to understand the 7 steps to Excel success. And then from here, we can just take off. And we can use Excel to the fullest. We can use AI, like the ExcelFormulaBot, to help us with Excel. In order to talk to the AI, we already got to know some Excel basics. So it's more important now than ever to understand the 7 steps to Excel success. And I can help you with that. Yeah, check it out right here. Boom. 7 steps to Excel success, VIP membership just for you. You got to check this out. Come on now. Come on. I'm giving you a 3-day free trial, and then you're going to just pay $7 a month. That's it. $7 a month. I'm going to raise it to $10 a month. It's too good a deal at $7 a month. But when you sign up for $7 a month, regardless of how much I raise it, it's still $7 a month for you. But what are we doing? We're learning. We want to learn about the ExcelFormulaBot. That's what I've been talking about all last week. And tomorrow we're having a special treat. We're going to have David from the ExcelFormulaBot, the developer of ExcelFormulaBot. And by the way, there's a whole lot of copycats out there for the ExcelFormulaBot. Remember that there's only one, the original ExcelFormulaBot, right here, ExcelFormulaBot.com. The links are in the description. And we're also going to have tomorrow the creator of the Ultimate Excel VBA course, the creator and founder of Excel VBA is fun. Excel VBA, Visual Basic for Applications, is the language of Excel. And it's the magic sauce in Excel. You can get Excel to do anything when you know some VBA. And not a whole lot of people teach VBA. And there's only one man that I know that makes VBA fun. And that's this man right here. Daniel Strong. Let's see, where are you at, Daniel? I know you're in here somewhere. Ooh, let's go on home. Dan Strong. He's the man right here that's going to be with us tomorrow to test out the AI VBA code generator in the ExcelFormulaBot. Well, let's continue on with today. You already know about the 7 steps to Excel Success VIP membership. Now, let's get into some Excel. But before we do that, let's get started with the same thing we start with every day, the 6-item list that we follow in order to help us maintain a constantly positive mental attitude so that we can achieve our definite major purpose in life and always be good at whatever we do. Step 1 is, choose to be happy. Step 2, make a plan. Step 3, don't get mad. Get skills. And that's what we're doing today. Don't get mad, get skills. Instead of trying to figure out how to make something, see if it's already been made by Excel, and all you do is just customize it. Wow, I've heard Power Query is such a cool tool. I wish I could learn how to use it. Well, you can. You're part. You are in the 7 Steps to Excel Success VIP membership, and you've laid a good foundation of Excel basics, so it's easy for you to build on that foundation. And most of all, my friends, you want to learn Power Query? You gotta do it now. Yes. Boom. Let's go right ahead and let's get right into it. Open up Excel. So I'm gonna go to the start and launch Excel. We're opening up Excel right here, and here we see some recent files that I've opened up right in here. We can just go right ahead and search for existing documents. We can always go to new. So let's go to new and check this out. Whenever you want to design a spreadsheet, you don't got to reinvent something that's already been invented. Excel makes it easy. Like I was talking about a party. Here's a party planner and checklist. Now it's showing up right here in my recently used documents because when I was teaching a Excel Basics class yesterday, we went into templates and we searched for a template. We just went in here and we type. You've got all these different categories of templates that you can look for. So we can just, for example, what if I wanted to learn Power Query? See, let's take a look at this party planner and checklist. Pretty cool. Nice. It explains to you what it does and the like, and it's provided by Microsoft Corporation. I like to stick to templates that are provided by Microsoft Corporation, especially if they're free. Now, if I'm buying a template, I'm paying for it, I expect it to come with a guarantee, and you want to do some due diligence on that. Don't just put any old template into Excel, and who knows what kind of issues you may end up having. So make sure you're getting it from a trusted source. Here's a party planner. Here's a personal monthly budget that we looked up in class. And you basically just go right in here and type in what you're searching for. So let's say I go right in here and say I want to find put it in the chat. Anything in particular that you want me to find in the chat? Put it in the chat and let me know. I got to give it a couple seconds because when you type in the chat, press enter, there's a little delay before I see it. So if you're wondering, why isn't he responding to me? It's probably because I haven't even seen your chat yet. So now let's go back into opened up Excel and we go to file and we go to new, and then let's search for a template. Let's search for a fitness track, weight loss planner. Okay, let me put weight loss. And look at that. We got a weight loss tracker, his and her weight loss tracker, fitness chart, calorie amortization schedule. Wow, that's interesting. We can just click on the weight loss tracker, keep on going through, and we see his and hers weight loss tracker. Wow, there's already all these templates, so you don't need to reinvent. And then you can open up a template and you can modify it and make it your own template. Or you can create a spreadsheet and then save it as a template. But there's a lot more details in the 7 Steps to Excel Success about templates. What I want to show you today is about how Excel can teach you how to use Excel. And once you are a VIP member of the 7 Steps to Excel Success and you've laid a good Excel foundation, using Excel becomes easy for you, because even though you don't know everything about Excel, because nobody knows everything there is to know about Excel, you at least know how to work your way around Excel. And you know that you can do anything in Excel. So why don't we go into New, Office. By the way, if you're looking at your Excel right now and you're saying, hey, I don't have that personal. Well, that's because you haven't created your own personal template yet. The first time you save as a template and you've created your own personal your own template, then the personal option will appear. And when you go to personal, you're just going to see templates that you have created and you have modified. So let's go back over here, because what we want to do today is we want to see what's the deal about Power Query and Excel templates. Well, why don't I just search tutorials? Tutorials, just like that. So we're going to go into open up Excel, go to New, Office, Tutorials, and then let's press enter. Look at that. Yeah. Look at all these tutorials. Yeah. And these are all Excel workbooks. Excuse me 1 second. Allergies are coming back around. Woo. Get ready for more coughing during my live streams. There's going to be 3 months of spring coming up. I can see the leaves. I'm looking out my window of my studio right now, and there's this big old tree, and I can see the leaves. The little buds of the leaves are starting to come out. And that means that there's a lot of pollen, and that means that it's going to be coughing, a lot of coughing going because of the allergies. Those of you that have allergies cannot relate. I never had allergies before till I moved to this neighborhood, and it's because of the ash tree. That's why I'm working hard and moving back to Hawaii, my home island. And we're looking at all of these different tutorials. Wow, these are so cool. And then, you know, when you're working on these tutorials, you're also learning about Excel, because these are all inside of Excel. They're Excel spreadsheets. So check this out. Here we have, look right over there, we have the Power Query tutorial. Right there. Okay, so now let's go ahead and click on it. And this explains to us that, hey, if you need to import or paste data into Excel, hey, it might be good to be able to clean it up and keep it up to date, yeah? Well, Power Query is going to help you take care of that. So let's go ahead and create this. And there we have it. It's an Excel spreadsheet just like that. Look. Hey, check this out. This let's go right here. Let's go. That's just a shape with some text in it. And it's got a hyperlink built into it, right? So if I click let's go, there it is. Let's go back to start. Now I can right click on it and select it. And I see that it's a shape. And we also see that we can edit the link, open the link, remove the link. Let's go to edit the link. You ever do that? You ever right click? When in doubt, right click. Nothing happens, left click. Nothing happens, check your options. And then you still can't figure it out, go to the community, your community at don'tgetmadgetskills.com and ask a question. So look, this shape right here with the text in it has a hyperlink that goes to that worksheet. Yep. Just FYI. See, and now we know how all these different things are working. But we're wanting to learn a little bit about Power Query. So let's go. So here we see, I'm gonna press Control F1 to hide the ribbon. That's the ribbon up top. And here it's saying, hey, does this happen to you? You want to paste data, you paste data into an Excel, and then you need to clean it up. Like this data right here, maybe you want to make some special changes to it. You've got your sales rep, you got the name and the first name and last name all in the same column. Typically, you want to separate them. That way you have one column for each data type. And here we have, they want to get rid, in this example, get rid of the 12 a.m. right here. So these are things that we can normally do with a text to columns tool and some formatting and the like. But what if you've got a spreadsheet with like 50,000 rows, 100,000 rows, 600,000 rows? Some of you are working with large spreadsheets like that. So let's click on next. Now notice how this template tutorial, all these sheets, and we know how they're done. So here they're telling us, hey, you could clean up the data manually, but it would be time consuming. By the way, you know, ExcelFormulaBot, it gives us steps to do something. So maybe on the next live stream after Fridays, live stream, I'm going to ask Excel certain questions in regards to data and see if it ExcelFormulaBot some questions in regard to data. Like, for example, how can I separate the first name and last name in the sales rep column? And let's see if it gives me some steps on how to do it. Yeah, that's a good idea. All right. So now, here the template is saying, you know, some things that we could do. So let's go next. And then the answer to what we want to do for cleaning up our data is Power Query. All right. And it's really not as hard to use as the name makes it sound. Nothing is hard to use once you understand the basics. And here what they're demonstrating is, hey, look, this is the original data. Same column for first name, last name. They don't like this format. Then Power Query was used to clean it up just like this. Got that time out of there, that date format. And here we got last name and first name and last name in separate columns. Cleaned up. In the original spreadsheet, the original data is intact. So we're just pulling data from that messed up spreadsheet and putting it into a nice cleaned up format however we want, and we're never messing with the original data. And then you can update the original data, then refresh your Power Query results, and the Power Query table will be updated. One of the things that I always hear my data scientists, data analyst friends complain about is they're saying most of their time is spent cleaning up data. Because there's a whole lot of you that don't know how to use Excel because you never learned the basics, the 7 steps to Excel success. So cleaning up data is a big job of data scientists before they can even get started on their work. So you're reading carefully at the template, and they're letting us know that, say, hey, take that dirty data and Power Query can clean it up too with just the click of a button. Now, it's telling us to try this. Sometimes these templates, these lesson templates, they're a little quirky, okay? And then they don't work exactly 100% all the time. Sometimes they do. Sometimes it just happens. Here I notice an error. They're asking us to, type in our name, Mr. Aloha. And then we're supposed to press enter. And then now when we go to the data tab, oops, that's the draw tab. The data tab, we're supposed to just be able to refresh right up here. And then it's going to update right over here. Okay, so I go to refresh and nothing's happening. Well, don't let this stop you. Don't get mad and get frustrated and irritated because this is not working, right? That happens in Excel. That happens with these tutorial templates sometimes. Something happened and the Power Query, the query that they're using here is not working. Okay. So what's going to happen is once we use Power Query, it's going to fix this mess for us. It's going to take these names right here and separating for us into first and last name. And then this date and time format, it's going to clean it up to just having a date. So we continue on and let's press next. And we're learning from Excel how to use Excel in a template. These are all things that we do. Look at these are all text boxes. Image right there. Right? You go to insert and you can insert pictures, shapes, icons. This is all in Excel. So here we say we cleaned up the data. Now let's go next. It explains what Power Query is. Get the data from a spreadsheet. Then you load it into Power Query, and then, well, you get the data into Power Query, and then you begin to transform it. I call that massaging it. You massage it into what you want. You change the column headers, you reformat some data, you pull some data from this spreadsheet and this other spreadsheet all into one table, and then you load it. You load it right back into your new spreadsheet. Have a new table actually. That's why I'm always encouraging you to use this shortcut, Control plus T. Control T. You should just get into the habit of using Control T all the time. Make a spreadsheet, set up all your data nicely, applying the 7 steps to Excel success, and then Control T your data and turn it into a table. You should always just be working in tables. There's benefits of tables. Tables are so important that I'm making a whole course just on tables. That's it. So let's go on. First step, get your data. The next step, transform your data, clean it up, and then load the data back into Excel. Let's keep on rolling. Now, you don't need to use Power Query just to clean up data. You can use Power Query to research, to pull data, extract data from the web or from other data sources. In this example, in this template, we're going to pull data from the FIFA World Cup website. The World Cup just ended. I'm not the only one that misses the games, yeah? Like, right now, I'd be getting ready for the 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time game. I'm not really into sports, but I like that sport. I like boxing and soccer, and that's it. Not even all soccer, World Cup soccer, because, you know, it really truly is. That really truly is. Like when they say the baseball world champions, they play baseball all over the world, but there's not baseball teams from every country competing against each other. So how can whatever baseball team you want to mention, can they be called the world champions? Haven't played everybody in the world. Whereas in the World Cup, we're playing other countries. So the team that wins, Argentina, they really are the world champions. Focus. Get back to this. Right on. So we're going to pull data from the FIFA website, and we're going to load it into Excel spreadsheet. Then, let's see what else this tutorial is telling us. Here it's letting us know that Power Query lays right on top. So when I open up Power Query, you open up Power Query, it lays right on top of Excel. So when you have two monitors, it's good to put Excel in one, your original Excel spreadsheet in one, and Power Query in another. In this case, we're just working with one monitor, even though I got a bunch of around me. There's only one that we're working in, and then that's the one where we're going to be doing everything. So let's click on next, and then we've got a few, right here the tutorial explained that we got this spreadsheet, which is the one we're going to use to import data from the FIFA website. We got this table, and how do I know it's a table? Because it looks like a table. See? It's a table. See that right there? That means it's a table. Plus, when I click into it, we can go up to our ribbon, and we see that we have a contextual tool tab. Contextual tool tabs only appear based on the context you are in. So the moment that I click outside of that table, watch, If I click outside the table, click no more contextual tool tab. How can I work with the table? Well, to work with the table, I got to click into the table. So let me zoom out, and I want you to look right here, right up there, right? When I click into the table, click, boom, you have it. And now you have a ribbon that's going to show you tools to work with the table. That is contextual tool tab. We got sales data right here. Now look, this is the dirty table where we're gonna use Power Query to clean up the data with. You know, I would be looking at this table and I'd click in and I'd wonder, hey, do they have subtotals? Because these look like subtotals. Now, if I wanted to remove those subtotals, and if those were really subtotals, then I could easily remove them. Let me click to see if they're subtotals. Home, data. Looks like we have subtotals. No, we don't. Okay, so we can't remove those subtotals. But normally you could just go and just remove those subtotals from the subtotals. And all this other cleaning up that we have to do. Maybe this would be text to columns. To separate text into columns, we're going to be using the space as a delimiter, for example. And then right here, I'd have to do a change of format. And I mean, all these things could be done step by step by step by step on this same spreadsheet. But what if I make a mistake? I got to undo. What if I save the spreadsheet and then somebody else opens it and finds a mistake? That's the beauty of Power Query. We're not going to be messing up the source. We got a separate table that we're creating. All right. So now let's go into get to know Power Query training. And then you see right here, it's just a hyperlink. Text, hyperlink. It's all built in Excel. There's nothing, mysterious about this. And now we end up at a little mini course on how to use Power Query. Import data from the web is the first lesson. Let's go ahead and let's play it.
Welcome to our Introduction to Power Query tutorial. In this interactive series of quick videos, we'll walk you through how to get started with Power Query and take your data transformation skills to the next level. To get started, we'll download some data from a website. This step will just show you how to get data from various sources, so we won't be doing any transformations yet. First, open the Introduction to Power Query workbook. When you're done, copy the URL on the Import Data from Web worksheet. You can see that it's going to take us to a Wikipedia page for the FIFA World Cup standings. Next, go to Data, Get and Transform from Web.
Boom. Okay. So we go next, import data, and there we have it. We can go ahead and copy that link right there. And then the tutorial said go to data. And right over here, we can go to the get and transform data group, and we're getting from the web. Now look at all these different spots we can get data from. So we can just say from the web, and now dialog box appears, and we're gonna paste right in here the URL. Keep it at basic, and then you're gonna press OK, just like the tutorial is telling us to do. But you got to remember too, all right? Sometimes when you're doing something like this, where you're working with Power Query and you're connected to the web, your internet connection is going to matter. And sometimes maybe the template might be out of sync with the actual data that we're getting. Because what if they made this tutorial a couple years ago and the Wikipedia page has changed? In this case, it looks like it hasn't. So in the tutorial, it's asking us to click on the results. There's the results. And then we're going to load them. We're going to load them right into our spreadsheet. Right there. Just like that. Load. And there's the queries happening. Boom. There we have it. Not only is it a boom, but it's angels because it works. And here we have some data that we just imported from the web, and we learned how to do that from this tutorial. Now let's see, he's going to take us.
Power Query will transform the data and load it into Excel as a table. Double-click the Sheet tab name and rename it World Cup Results.
Okay, we got to rename this World Cup results. So look right down here, and let's rename it. Enter, just like that. Go back.
In the future, should you need to refresh the table to get updates to this World Cup data, you'd select the table, then click Query Refresh.
Oh, cool. Look at that. So in the future, we want to check and see if there's been updates to the table. We can click on the table, and because there's a query attached to it in the Contextual Tool tab, now we have a Query Contextual Tool tab. Click on Query, and then from here, you can refresh, or you can go to Edit to go back to the Power Query Editor. Hey, let's go and check out another lesson real quick. I'm not going to go through every single one, but I just want to show you some demos. You can go now and open up Excel and go and type in Excel new search tutorials and see what kind of tutorial templates you have. Now import from an Excel table.
For the rest of this tutorial, we'll be working with data that's already in an Excel worksheet and use Power Query to transform and clean it to look the way that you want. We'll start off where we left off in the first step, and you'll notice that there are worksheets for product categories and for sales data. Our first step is to load the sales data into Power Query. Once you apply some data transformations, Power Query will create a new worksheet with those transformations, but the source data will remain the same. This means that you can experiment all you want and be reassured that your original data won't get compromised. With the cursor anywhere in the table, go to Data, Get and Transform Data.
Did you hear what he just said with the cursor already in the data? In other words, he's saying select the data, put the marquee in the data. Your marquee should always be in the data.
From Table Range, Excel will automatically launch the Power Query Editor with your data displayed in a preview pane. We're not going to do any transformations in this step, but we will review the Query Editor and its different elements. First, we'll start with the Queries pane. Expand the arrow to the left of the preview pane, and the Queries pane will display any existing query tables in the workbook. You'll see.
So here we have it. Import data from web, sales data. Click into sales data and go to data, and we can say get data from table or range, and that's that table or range. And here is the Power Query Editor, right? Just like that. Here we have it. And then right here is every step that we're taking is being recorded right up there. It's sort of like it's recording all the steps, kind of like a macro. So every step that we're taking is being recorded. And then you can run this Power Query. You get every time there's new data, you run the Power Query, and it's going to go through all the steps and produce a separate table from all the other data. So you don't have to mess with everybody else's messed up spreadsheets. Getting the data that you need brought right into Power Query. And later on, you can update these steps. So for example, here, I'm just going to change this to product name. I'm going to get a little ahead of the tutorial. We're not going to complete the tutorial. I want you to go ahead and complete it on your own now that you know where it's at. And here's, we got order date. And here we got sales totals. And clean this up. Okay. And so now we've renamed the columns so that you see that we've got steps that were applied. Rename the columns. And then we can go right ahead and right over here, close and load. So it's going to load it into a new table. So what you see right here is the original source data. Right here in the Power Query Editor, we've been cleaning it up. We got tools here that we can use to clean up the data. In this case, we manually change our header rows. And the Power Query editor is keeping track of all the steps. So we can go in and edit any step that we want at any moment. Now let's go ahead and close and load. And now we got a new spreadsheet right here. And if you look right here, right above me, you see it's keeping track of all the different queries that we're doing. So here is our spreadsheet. We took this, we took the sales data, and all we changed so far is the column headers. That's it. We did that in Power Query. So we got this new table. You look right over here. This new table, product sales. We can just rename it if we want. I'm going to leave it alone for now. And then let's go back and let's do just 2 more lessons and see what we can learn right here.
See the product sales table listed last, then the World Cup results table, and then the tables that we used earlier in the tutorial workbook. As you add new tables, they'll automatically be listed here. Next, we'll move on to query settings. This pane shows the transformation steps you take with each of your queries. Here you can preview any existing steps and change or delete them. You might also notice that Power Query has already added a few steps for you. Source, this defines the source for your data. Change type. Here, Power Query has analyzed your data and made some preliminary decisions for you based on the data types it interpreted. You can always adjust these later. Next is the Home tab. This is where you'll start previewing your data and making transformations. When you're done, you can always use Close and Load to get your transform data back to Excel. The Transform tab just gives you more in-depth transformational options than on the Home tab. You probably won't use this very much when you're getting started. Add Column. This gives you the ability to get data from your existing columns, like the day of the week from a date or creating your own custom calculations. Finally, there's the View tab. This gives you a few different view options, like launching the Advanced Query Editor. Again, this is one you probably won't use very much when you're getting started. Finally, we'll go back to the Home tab and press Close and Load to put the table back to Excel. Had we applied any transformations with this table, you'd see them reflected here. In this case, we didn't do anything, so the data looks the same as when we started. However, you might notice that Excel's created a new worksheet for you, so it's a good idea to go ahead and rename it. I'll call this one PQ Sales Data, so I can tell the difference between it and the source data. Any transformations you make from here on out will be reflected in this worksheet.
Did we call it PQ Sales Data? Now we can go right ahead, call that table PQ Sales Data. Power Query Sales Data. That's what that PQ. Boom. And there you have it. You can keep on going through this tutorial and you can start learning how to use Power Query. And right here, we can just go to Query, and then we go to Edit to launch the Power Query. We know that the query is there. We did a Power Query. So now we got, when we click on the table and we get the table design, there's queries associated with that table. So now we have the query. So let's just click on Query. We see the query ribbon appear, and we're going to go to Edit because we want to perform another transformation. I don't know, maybe we can separate that. So let's see, guess how to use it. So we're gonna go transform split column. Hey, look at that. We want to do a transform. That's why I like to stream live and do all these things right off the bat. Like, what am I going to talk about tomorrow? We're going to talk about the ExcelFormulaBot and using it to write VBA code. And we're going to have a VBA expert, Dan Strong. And we're going to have David, developer, the ExcelFormulaBot, to help us out. It's at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. All right, so here we go. We're going to split by column. And then, hey, let's split by delimiter. See, we got all these sales reps right here. So I want to separate first name and last name. And the delimiter is going to be the space right here. How did I know that that's a delimiter? Well, because some steps to Excel Success VIP membership. I learned in the basics what a delimiter is. from the text to columns tool. We say separate by delimiter. And here we look at our split column by delimiter. And we're going to select, these are the delimiters. We got a space is the one we want to use. And then at each occurrence of the delimiter. Then I'm going to press OK. And look at that. It did it right here. Separate it for us. So we can just rename this column. We're going to call this first name. And then we'll call this one last name. Just like that. And then press enter right here. And now we can go back to home and load. And then here we see updated spreadsheet. So look, just you can go back and now you've got all these other options. Set up your header row, convert your data type. And then it even shows us at the end how to refresh your data, how it is when you make changes to the source and you refresh, it refreshes your table. Remember the Power Query, you've got the original spreadsheets that you're working with. For example, this is the original spreadsheet that you're working with. And then there's a new table being built. So it's actually a table. You're working with a table. So your data should always be in tables. And then Power Query, if your data is not on tables and you go to run Power Query is not going to work. It's going to tell you, hey, your data needs to be in tables. How do you make it into tables? Those of you that are members, VIP members of the 7 Steps to Excel Success VIP membership, you know exactly what to do. You press Control T and then you made it into tables. Roll on. So here we have it, 7 Steps to Excel Success membership. My friends, just go to myexcel.club or click on any of the links around here and you're going to be here. You're going to lay a solid foundation that's going to help catapult you to the next levels in your career, in your life, and in everything. Because more than just learning how to use Excel, is we got to have the right mindset. Excel is just a tool. AI is just a tool. The truth is in us, in our abilities. We must believe in ourselves. I believe in you. I believe in me. I know what's possible from you. Come on, my friends. Remember, tomorrow at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, we've got the ExcelFormulaBot developer. We're going to test out the VBA code generator. We're going to ask Excel to do something. You know, we want to do something in Excel like print all worksheet names. And then the ExcelFormulaBot is going to give us the VBA code. And Dan Strong from VBA, Excel VBA is fun, is the expert that is going to be right here with us testing it out while the developer is answering questions. Yes, Chee-huu, my friends. Like I always say, I love you. And I want you to keep on learning. But most of all, don't get mad. Get yourself some skills. Chee-huu.